Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about something that I personally deal with, and that is having clothes that I would wear in the past that worked really well, but now they don't work. And that's primarily because they no longer fit, especially around my midsection. Many of us experience changes in our bodies, whether it's from bloating or having kids or menopause or just different shifts in our body over time. So I decided to do this video because I know that there are a lot of women, especially in my same age bracket, that notice these changes. But honestly, everything that I'm going to share with you today can apply to anyone that is trying to figure out ways to dress in a very chic, modern way while they also accommodate an imperfect midsection. If you're new here, my name's Brenda. I'm over 50, and this channel is all about helping you step outside of your style box and to enjoy getting dressed. So if you're someone that's looking to find your personal style or looking for some new ideas and maybe some inspiration, why don't you go ahead and subscribe. So I want to give you a quick breakdown of how the video is going to go. I'm going to talk about some specific pieces. I'm going to talk about some styles, some styling hacks, some things to avoid, and some additional things that can help. So let me grab my laptop here as we go over some of the pieces so I can share them with you. The first piece is a jumpsuit. I personally love jumpsuits because they are easy, they're one and done, a complete outfit. And I also like them because a lot of them are made in a way that it's a more unstructured fit. Depending on the style of jumpsuit, you might feel like, or I would sometimes feel like, I looked more like a mechanic. So what I would do in those instances, I would take some extra steps in terms of styling, like with this jumpsuit. She has accessories on, she has the sleeves rolled up, she has cuffs in the pants as well. The good news is there are a lot of styles of jumpsuits out there that you can choose from. Like this one here, I like this because of the sleeves. It's very flowy. It almost looks like a long dress. And this one also looks like it has some type of details at the ankle. So be on the lookout for more flowy fabrics and some more unique details. So this last jumpsuit I'll show you, I do like the slightly extended shoulder and the wider leg. So it has some nice design details, and the shoulder being outward a little bit, and you can see how it appears to be coming inward a little bit towards the midsection. Next is high waist pants. And you might think, well, wait a minute, if I want to avoid accentuating my midsection, why would I want to wear a high waist pant? And with a high waist pant, the fit is key. So you want to make sure that they are not too tight, but that they fit you in a way that they can actually smooth over the midsection. Going back to the days when I watched Stacy and Clinton on what not to wear, you want to fit the largest part of you and then have the rest of a piece tailored. I have a couple of examples. These pants from Ann Taylor. I actually have a pair of red high-waisted pants, but they don't fit right now. Ann Taylor is one of those places where they have different cuts of pants for different body styles. So if you're looking for a high waist pant, I would suggest checking out Ann Taylor. The last thing I will say is if high rise is not really something that you like, a mid rise is also an option. I would just say a low rise is probably not a good idea, especially if you have a little bit, especially if you have like a muffin top. A low rise pant will probably only accentuate that, and that's probably not what you want. Next is a blazer, one of my wardrobe staples. And a blazer is great because it adds some structure. A blazer that's open tends to draw the eye in towards the center of the body. It creates a longer vertical line as well. See by the shape of the blazer, it's already built in to give an illusion of a waistline. Now this one is a double-breasted blazer, which some will say should be avoided because you have additional fabric. But I think because of the collar, the way it comes over slightly at an angle, and then the bottom of the blazer beneath the button comes back in another diagonal angle, I think that makes this an ideal piece. And the last thing I'll say about blazers, we all have different proportions, so you want to watch and see where the blazer hits you. If it's cutting you off, if it's a shorter version maybe, and it's cutting you off and it is emphasizing rather than camouflaging, then you want to look for one that's slightly lower. But you'll have to just try some on to see which one works best for you. The only other thing I would say is you might want to avoid blazers that look overly boxy. Next up is a peplum. And a lot of times you'll see a peplum in a top or a jacket, not so much a dress, but there are a lot of different options out there for peplums as well. The way that a peplum is structured is that it comes in at where typically around the natural waist, and then it flares out. So it gives you again that illusion of a cinched in waistline, which is built into the piece itself. This khaki jacket by Banana Republic, you can see how the way that it's belted actually creates a peplum effect. So technically this jacket is not a peplum, but by using the belt, you actually create that same effect. The peplum kind of stands away on its own and can easily camouflage a fuller midsection. Another option, these are pretty popular. I think they're called anorak jackets, but in any event, they're jackets that have a drawstring. It's adjustable, so you can make it work exactly as it needs to for you. Next up is a wrap top, and I love wrap tops for a couple of reasons. Like you can see here with this blouse, how it cuts across the midsection, and this particular one has a tie. Another thing about wrap tops, a lot of them are adjustable. Now this one, it does have some additional fabric, so this one might not be an ideal choice, but I did want to show just the way that a wrap top can look. But this is another one, not as much fabric, but the same concept, and you can see how it slightly drapes, so it's not going to necessarily cling to the body. Now this one has a thinner belt, but you can see it's very adjustable, and this one also has a lot of other detail, the color, the fabric, the larger sleeve, so all of that is going to help create a unique look while drawing attention or not drawing attention to an area that we don't want to focus on. Next up are some styling hacks or some tips and tricks. I love prints and patterns, and they are great for situations like this. How do I say this? It doesn't create an illusion, but it diffuses, I think that's what I want to say, the area. And so you just see the pattern, you don't necessarily see the shape of the body underneath it. Next up is layering. And in this instance, we want to think about lighter layering, a longer shirt, like a tunic, which tends to be below the hip line, or a longer button-down shirt. You could add a cardigan over that, or a denim jacket, or a blazer. You want to think about your proportions, whether you're taller or you're petite. All of those things you want to take into consideration as you are adding your layers. And if it gets to be as if it's too bulky or it looks like it's too much, you can always take a layer off, or you could potentially add an accessory like a belt. And a good thing about a belt is if you want to move it higher or lower so that it cuts in a more preferable space or spot, you can also do that. Two more styling hacks: ruching and tucking. Tucking is great. It's one of the things that I do on a regular basis, because if you don't want to tuck in your top completely, but you do want to look like you pay attention to detail, a side tuck or front tuck can give you that look. Now ruching, which is built into your pieces, you see a lot of tops and some dresses, this dress not only has a print, but it also has ruching. And I love ruching, and I love ruching on a print because not only is there the diffusion, but then you can also adjust the ruching just the way that you want it. And it does amazing things. Ruching is really great. There are a few things that I would suggest you think about and consider. Number one, clingy fabrics are probably something that you want to avoid. You know, clingy fabrics, they can bunch up, they can roll up, and you're going to spend a lot of time continuing to adjust those. So rather than a clingy fabric, something that has a little more structure, maybe even a little bit of stretch, but something that has a little more structure that will hold you in. Anything too tight, that's just counterproductive to what we're trying to do here. If it's tight, it's going to show everything, and that's not necessarily what we want. On the other end of the spectrum is something that's way oversized, and a lot of times we feel like in order to play down one area that we should just go completely oversized, but then we lose our shape altogether. We can look like our clothes are overwhelming us, and that's not necessarily what we want either. We want to find a balance where we have some definition in the areas that we want, and then we want to have less definition around our midsection. Want to be careful when it comes to pleats because pleats automatically add more fabric, and that can add some additional visual weight around the midsection. Other things that can help: shapewear. So I'm not an expert on shapewear at all. The only reason I'm really bringing this up is because I did have an opportunity to work with Under Outfit, and I really liked one of the pieces that I got from them. It is this sculpting high waist short, and I really liked it because number one, it was not uncomfortable. I was really concerned about, you know, maybe it digging into my sides or just making me feel super constricted. But this piece actually worked really well. They have this panel in the front and also has these slight panels, these triangular panels on the side to help with a muffin top. And they even have this little cinching in the back to help with the tush. In addition to shapewear, there are some retailers that have curvy fit as an option. So those tend to give you a little more room. There are also some brands that use technology to help with slimming as you wear the piece. For example, Chico's has the So Slimming, these high-rise wide leg jeans. So the paneling is built in, and I've seen it before, and it's not really heavy. If you are over 50 like me, you probably remember back in the day where you had control pantyhose. It's sort of like that, maybe a little bit slightly heavier than that. But you know, every little bit helps. So you're probably familiar with Spanx. They're well known, starting out with shapewear. They've expanded into clothing, and so they also have a technology that they use to help to keep the midsection in check. I found a couple of other brands as well. I don't know about them personally, but I always check a more general website like Google or something like that to see what the real comments are. That is everything that I have for you today. Hopefully this was helpful. Like I said, this is something that I've been, you know, dealing with for the last few years, especially since my regular routine in terms of exercise has fallen off, but I am going to get back to that. But in the meantime, even when we're working towards whatever, you know, fitness or health goals we might have, we still want to and should feel good and confident in our clothes. So hopefully you found some things here that can help you. For any of the products that are available that I showed here, I'll make sure that they are in the description. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel, signing up for notifications. You can join me across social media at The Chic City Girl. And with that, I'm going to say thank you so much for your support, and I will see you in the next video.